Okay, Zatima fans. Now, what was it? It's been maybe 2 or 3 days since I made this post. 2 days ago, yeah, I just checked. And I put up a picture of Zach and Fatima in bed from episode 6, where Fatima's wearing that outfit from the 80s, as Zach said. And the picture itself, I said, what are your honest thoughts about Zatima season 2 so far? Mind you, we're only 6 episodes into this season, which is 20 episodes. But my caption read, I was reading through the comments on my episode reviews for season 2 so far, and I thought I was hard on some of these episodes, but sheesh, in reference to the fact that some of the comments I saw were pretty harsh. We're only 6 episodes into the season, so obviously there's still time for it to start cooking with gas. For me, Sistas Season 5 ruined the Zatima dynamic, and it's slowly bleeding into their spin-off series. What do you all think about the season so far? Now, when I tell you that a lot of people chimed in, on YouTube's community tab, over 130 comments. Then I posted it on Twitter. And on Twitter, well, only 6 comments, but a lot of them are pretty in-depth. On Instagram, I got over 70 comments, and I didn't even look to see on Facebook, but I know it was a lot between the Sistas and Zatima Facebook groups. And a lot of people were saying the exact same thing, but Dawn actually left a pretty sizable comment, and I'm going to read through it. It is long, but I think that this was the one I really wanted to highlight because it encompassed pretty much what a majority of people have been saying. And granted, this is not me bashing on Zatima Season 2. I'm merely doing this video to reflect how a majority of the fan base from my corner of the internet feels about the show. Don's comment, sorry, but this is a rant. I honestly love Val and Crystal. They are both excellent actors. They have the ability to bring life to their characters, and we saw that in episode 2 of season 2. Matter of fact, I saw another comment that said something along the lines of, Zatima season 2 tricked us with the first 2 episodes because they were really good, especially episode 2. But then after that, it kind of just went everywhere. Okay, back to Don's comment. And when it happens, we get to remember why we fell in love with Zach and Fatima in the first place, referencing the fact that the actors bring these characters to life. In those moments, we can tell that those opportunities were solely for these 2 actors. Their chemistry is how Zatima was discovered because Tyler Perry saw them rehearsing the lines, felt the chemistry, and decided to allow for this wonderful match to happen. But that's as far as Tyler Perry's input makes for the success of this plan, because Zatima is the heartbeat of the Val and Crystal. It's when they add to the script with the ad-libs, synchronized head tilts, simultaneous wording, impromptu acting, and just their responses. That Zatima, the couple, holds its own character within itself. Crystal calls it when Tyler Perry lets us rip, and it seems to always work. We just saw it with the coinky dinky doo in the previous episodes, because the actors are allowed to put stuff into the script. Now, the script itself is horrible, as it depicts the stereotypical, and she goes on to list at least 20 different adjectives. Black stereotypical, argumentative, insecure, immature couple that never succeeds because they stay stuck in conflict, unresolved issues. And look, the list goes on. Holy crap. Communicating, setting boundaries, and living their best life. Or, excuse me, they do all that negative stuff instead of investing time in setting goals, communicating, setting boundaries, and living their best life. Most, if not all, of their problems are repetitive and solvable, which makes the show frustrating, stagnant, annoying, and boring because it's unnecessary drama for drama's sake. That was not the attraction of the couple for the viewership. It's not even realistic because a couple at this stage of 4 months or even close to a year, referencing Fatima's statement to Paul in the elevator, should be experiencing the honeymoon phase of their relationship. And even with all this drama, the honeymoon phase is possible. In fact, it should be it should probably be bringing them closer together if they were as supportive as they were when they first began. I wholeheartedly agree with that. It is sad to say, but the show is becoming, even from watching it on YouTube, I think that that's in reference to not watching the episodes on YouTube, but just like watching people like me doing reviews and whatnot, is becoming predictable and intolerable. Who wants to see Fatima and Zach episode after episode, week after week, make the same mistakes over and over, having the same arguments over and over with the same outcome of watching someone decide to leave? It's written like an after-school special for middle schoolers who don't know how to handle adult situations or navigate adult life. Like, how in the world is Fatima supposed to be close to her mother, and we are just hearing about her mother? We heard about Madam before her mother, and her mother wasn't even told that Fatima is engaged. Let alone the fact that Fatima has been hiding Zach for her mother for 4 months, or close to a year. How healthy a relationship does Fatima see in herself? Ooh. And then Fatima acts like she's 12 when her mom is around instead of a 30-something-year-old woman. You know, that boss chick that we used to know. Now Fatima has to get her mom and stepdad's approval of Zach. Really? Because I thought that Fatima was a grown-ass woman making plans and setting her own bar. The regression for all the characters is so ridiculous. I can see people having long-time friendships, but to be an adult and not understand the importance of setting boundaries for yourself is just pathetic. I just feel like Tyler lacks a lot of life experience and therefore cannot incorporate depth and balance because he doesn't understand it's important in real life scenarios, and therefore he cannot write from a true perspective, but only from what he sees and sees on reality TV. Just my opinion. Mic drop. Yeah, that was damn. I mean, and the comments all speak for themselves. Bad writing. There have been a few people who give the show credit. Well, this is what happens when you rush a relationship, and some people expect it to be fairy tale. If people are talking to me saying that I really think people are looking for a fairy tale to a rushed relationship, in reference to, Jeremy's only saying this because he wants them to be happy. I have said this from the beginning. I've used this I'm not inserting it in this video because I'm too lazy to edit it. But DeVal was on a podcast talking about Zatima before it even came out last year. And he mentioned that don't expect this to be a Disney fairy tale relationship where everything's magically okay. The guy and the girl get married and go off into the sunset. There are real issues in this show. I have stated that multiple times. Hell, even before Zatima was even a thing, like going back to at the end of Sistas season 3, I remember doing a pretty lengthy video, is Zatima in game or something along those lines. And I've always said I'm not expecting them to have a perfect love, and that's what makes them so damn good. I've never sat up here and said that, oh, I don't want any drama. I've never said that. What I have said is I wish that we can diversify it a bit instead of the same issues over and over again. How many times is Fatima going to threaten to move out and leave before she actually leaves and permanently moves out, as opposed to either staying gone for a few hours or one night, then coming back, and then they're back to square one? How many times is Zach and look, episode 5 of Zatima last week just really pissed me off. How many times is Zach going to go over to Deja's claiming that, look, I'm tired of this. Look, if you're really tired, you would be tired. Like, you wouldn't even bother going over there. It's just one of those things where, or how many times are they going to let outside influences, particularly Fatima, influence the relationship, like so-called friends or photos and video clips without any freaking context impact the way you go off on your own freaking fiance? Also, the mother thing really does trouble me because you hide your relationship for that long and an engagement. Personally speaking, and this is just me, I'm 31. I'm old fashioned. Maybe that's just the way I am, but I would not be opposed to, like, if I met the right woman, I would not be opposed to getting permission from the parent or parents, because, hell, I'm 31, and, some people only have like one parent in their life. Some people might not have any, but, if possible, I wouldn't mind going to like the father of said woman to ask for, the blessing to marry or propose, basically, well, excuse me, propose to, his daughter, or, their daughter, if I'm asking both parents. But, especially, I would want to at least meet the family of the woman that I want to get on one knee for before I propose. Because like they say, when you marry someone, you marry their family too. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to be surrounded by that family 24/7, but I would like to kind of see the upbringing, or, understand where that potential wife came from, so I can get an idea of like, okay, what could I potentially expect in a lifetime with this woman. So if Fatima's parents are as strict, and this is what come, and look, don't get it twisted, I'm glad the mom has been introduced, but I think that there could have been a bit more building towards this as opposed to just randomly happening. But I think that it's really convoluted how there are apparently so much red tape that Fatima would need to go through in order to get approval to be with Zach, let alone marry him. But now all of a sudden, yeah, we're living together and we're going through stuff, and hey mom, I'm actually engaged. And then we learn the mom is pretty much bougie, which kind of contradicts the whole, my family has done so much stuff. It makes it feel like Zach is just going to come in here, thinking he has a record, but in reality he has a receipt from Walmart compared to the CVS receipt length of crimes and whatnot Fatima's family has done. But I think when it comes to Zatima as a whole, just a few things I think could really turn this show around. Number one is the writing itself. The fact that, I think I speak for everyone in the comments, pretty much solidify this. Stop giving us the same issues over and over and over again. I'm not saying Zach and Fatima need to have a drama-free life. I've never said that leading up to this video, and I'm not going to start saying it now. What made these two so good was the fact that despite the bullshit, these two would hang in there together. Now, there were times where it felt like Fatima was more like the muscle of the relationship in terms of getting shit done. But that's the thing that kind of felt a little appealing. But I know on one hand, some fans felt like Zach doesn't feel like a real man, setting boundaries, putting his foot down. Fatima's always the one who has to come in and clean his messes because he doesn't want to handle them. Well, it is interesting how that is a fact. But on the flip side, when it comes to emotional stuff, it was Zach leading the charge. Zach was the one that had to calm for... A lot of times, like, let's say, when Zach and Fatima are over at Karen's for that letter crap, or, when it comes to the Hayden situation, sometimes Fatima's the one who has to kind of hold Zach back. Like, hey, no, Zach, no, not here, not now. Cool it. And then other times when they're alone, Fatima's the one who gets, like, super emotional and worked up. And then Zach, hey, baby, calm down. Let's talk about this. I know something's wrong. I can see it. I can hear in the voice. Let's hash it out. I like that. Yeah, there were times where I'm like, okay, Zach, you need to man up and handle the business instead of letting Fatima do it. But on the flip side, I liked how Tyler kind of did the reverse of what we're accustomed to, where usually it's the man who's the one who is more about getting shit done. And then the woman is the one who's all about the emotion, but it's actually vice versa with Zach and Fatima, or it was. And it's like I said before, what Tyler did with Fatima in Sistas Season 5 was just inexcusable. Insufferable, extremely insecure, hypocritical, unwilling to compromise. And people, even today, Jeremy, she is not like Karen. What show have you been watching? What show have you been watching? If you follow me on Twitter, there have been at least a few times where where I've left damn, just tweets as long as a damn dissertation breaking down why I feel the way I feel about Fatima in season 5. There were just some very, very, very bad writing choices that Tyler made for the character. The majority of the season, she was just incredibly unlikable, which is sad because I love Crystal as an actor. I've loved Fatima since season 1 of Sistas, but in Sistas season 5, that was easily the worst character assassination that I've seen. Mind you, someone like Preston, I didn't like what Tyler did with his character, but Preston doesn't have the screen time of Fatima. So we had to sit and endure Fatima for a majority of season 5, and I'm just sitting here like, who is this person? Who is this person? And, going back to Fatima's mom and the relationship there, it kind of, the way she was introduced kind of contradicts to the little we, got in terms of Fatima's family prior to, her mom's introduction recently. It's kind of the same with Connie. Now, some people did point out, because I did the video, the problem with the problem with Connie, and some people were like, well, Jeremy, I think the thing is, it wasn't that Connie was ever a serious love interest for Zach, like a relationship or girlfriend. She was more of she was able to fulfill Zach sexually more than anything else. But at the same time, for a woman that has that much of a hold on Zach, at least physically, you would think she would have been mentioned or alluded to a couple of times at some point within the last season of Zatima, or hell, even season of Sisters, but she hasn't. So for just randomly come up, and like I said, I don't have a problem with the new characters in terms of new characters being introduced, but to introduce characters who apparently have such a major, or they play a major part, or played a major part in one or both of the characters' lives, but they've never been, mentioned once, kind of makes no sense. But I think what Zatima needs to do, and let me tell you what it doesn't need to do, Zatima needs to have episodes as long as Sisters. No, it does not. And the same thing I said with Bruh, in terms of the show doesn't need to be Sisters length. I remember back in Sisters season 1, I remember saying this show has no business being an hour long because of the dragged out dialogue, repetitive scenes. The show could easily be condensed to 20 something minutes. There is no point of Tyler making these episodes 40 or 50 minutes long. Because remember, on BET Plus, some episodes can be an hour. I know in the past there were Ruthless episodes that were close to 52 minutes or something. What's the point of making an episode twice as long if you're going to drag things out twice as slow? That's always been my attitude towards that. And I love Zatima because it was bite-sized, but the thing is, recently, even with just a couple of bites, I'm getting a bad taste in my mouth. Now, there have been some key scenes, like the barbershop scene, Zach's reaction to his mom leaving him in the store, and dang, those were really, like the other comments said, the first 2 episodes really had us fooled. But now it just seems like in order to pad out the runtime or pad out the 20 episode count of the season, we're going to be getting a lot of the same old repetitive stuff. Now, I know this season has been said to explore more about Zach and Fatima in order to find out why they are the way they are. But it just seems like we're going to have to make it through a lot more of the same old in order to hopefully get to the new stuff. But here's the problem I have with that. And look, this comes from a person who really only knows as much as a majority of you all in terms of, we've only seen 6 episodes. I haven't seen past episode 6 like the rest of you. I don't know what's going to be happening in terms of the back half of season 2. But here's where I think Zatima will either stand tall or crumble to pieces moving forward. If we get to the root of why Zach and Fatima are the way they are, and they both come to understand that about each other, and we still see them going through the same... Well, you know what? It isn't even the fact that they're going through the same issues over and over again. It's the fact that even after they've learned a specific lesson, whether it be how, wow, babe, I shouldn't have acted that way, I'm going to do better. Remember season 1? After the whole Belinda, getting shot at, and Zach was in bed with Fatima, cuddling her like, you need to do better, and I need to do better, we need to do better. What happened to that? Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if we get to the point in season 2, and we realize what shaped these two into being who they are, and then they understand about that each other, they understand that about each other, and they get encountered with like the same issue for like the 30th time, and they regress so far that they react to it the same way they always act. That's where I feel the show has failed. If we get to the point where after Zach and Fatima have some growth, basically sisters in a nutshell. That was one of the worst things, when Fatima unofficially developed the personality of a fifth sister. That's where the show will fail. Am I going to still watch? Hell yeah. I mean, in terms of views, Zatima season 2 isn't doing so hot. And when I say views, I'm talking about the views on my channel. I don't know about the BET Plus numbers. But in terms of my audience, a lot of people have said, I'm not watching season 2. A lot of people were turned off by the trailer. Folks, I remember how hype season 1 was. The anticipation, what was it? Late November, December 2021 was when that what was that called? Media Traffic or something. I forgot the name of the website. But they broke the news. I shared it. I did a video. People went there. A lot of people didn't even believe me. They thought it was fake. But then it was revealed that the show is real. Keep in mind, this was December, and I think it was maybe January, February when we actually got confirmation that Zatima was a real show. We did not get a trailer until right before my birthday in August. Over 8 months before we got that season 1 trailer. And when that season 1 trailer dropped, we all lost our freaking minds. I remember. But then season 2 trailer dropped, and I remember feeling like, because of the fact that Sistas season 5 truly ruined these characters. Because when you watch the trailer, like, I urge you, go back and watch the season 2 trailer for Zatima. I got it here on the channel. Watch it. And tell me you don't feel like Sistas season 5 ruined it. Because of the fact that Zatima was overexposed in Sistas season 5. They went through so much drama and repetitive issues that when you watch that trailer of Zatima, it's like, well, damn, they're just doing the same thing, but on their own show and with different characters. I think Sistas season 5 ruined Zatima. And I really do hope and pray that Tyler has a plan here. I'm not asking for a perfect relationship. They don't need to have a perfect love. That's what makes them relatable. That's the whole debate about, well, see, that's why Batman is more liked than Superman, because nobody can relate to Superman. He's a superpowered alien. Batman's just a regular dude. Well, I mean, how many of us can be identify ourselves as billionaires? Sure, he's human, but at the same... Well, anyway, yeah, that's why he's more relatable. And that's the thing. If we just had squeaky clean relationship, I mean, sure, it would be cool to see some positive black love, but, you know, for the black couple out there who is questioning whether or not to stay with their current partner as opposed to going back to an ex, or, you know, questioning whether or not they're with someone because they don't want to be alone. I think that's what makes Zatima a hot topic of discussion. Because the thing is, I mean, In terms of a success, I still say that Zatima is a success because we keep talking about it. But the thing about it is, when a show is successful because there's a lot of numbers or a lot of eyes watching it, that's great. But when a show is impactful, that's next level. That's how you reach that cult status. I'm not saying Zatima is going to flop. I hope it does not. I'm saying that in terms of the fans, and I mean the real fans who've been rocking with them since they were first introduced as a pairing in Sistas Season 2, we know kind of like, the heartbeat of this relationship. And I think that there's been some clogged arteries since the past season or so of Sisters leading into Season 2. And I mean, I get it. It's like they say, you never know someone until you live with them, but I just don't like what Tyler's done with Fatima. And look, it might seem like I get on Fatima's case more than Zach's, but that's because Tyler's just done such a horrendous job with her character for, the past year or so. But overall, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, I don't know what else is there to say. I could keep going, but I know some people are probably tired of me talking in this video, but I really do hope that as season 2 moves forward, we'll actually see some progression. I never thought it would get to the point where I would be like, I just want to see them smiling again. When was the last time we saw these two really smile? And I mean, in terms of that was damn chair squeaking. In terms of on-screen scenes between Zach and Fatima, and in terms of timeline stuff, this goes for both Sisters and Zatima. I could not tell you the last time that I remember Zach and Fatima just having one day where they were happy. And I'm not talking about, yes, there have been many scenes where one or both of them were smiling about something, but later that afternoon or that night, something would go down and then the entire mood will be ruined. Remember when season 5 of Sisters started with Zach picking up Fatima from work, and they went to the parking lot where they first met, and it looked very promising. I'm like, oh snap. I mean, their spinoffs doing well. Season 1 was a hit. Now we're starting off season 5 with some great Zatima scenes. And then the shit hit the fan the moment that Karen called and cussed Fatima out. That was pretty much the beginning of the end right there. So how can you fix Zatima? Just go back to what... If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why did Tyler just screw him over like that? Man. Alright, well, that's all I got for this video. Like I said, I could say more, but I'm tired of talking about it. Hopefully, this week's batch of episodes will turn things around for the season. And like I said, this week and I think next week are episodes 7 through 10. And that might be all we're getting for season 3B before we take a break. Or, not season 3B, what am I talking about? Season 2A. And then the show will come back for season 2B at some point, maybe in the summer. But I gotta admit, if the next 4 episodes have the same kind of reception, or I guess you could say reaction from the fans as, let's say, episodes 3 through 6, this might be... I would probably have to rank the first part of Zatima season 2 down in the stinker categories like Sisters season 3 and 5, because this just ain't it. But like I said, the season's still early, but the thing is, when it comes to Sisters in the Oval, well, Jeremy, the season's just started. It's going to get good. Well, we should need like 4 weeks, or in those shows' cases, 2 months, because, it's 1 episode a week, opposed to 2 like Zatima, where it takes like maybe 8 or 9 episodes for the show to really get cooking with gas before the mid-season finale. Who wants to sit through that? And with Zatima, yeah, we got 20 episodes, but at least when it was 10 episodes, it felt more condensed. Things felt like they were moving faster, and it just felt like shit was getting done. And not just that shit was getting done, we actually got to see these characters really grow through it. But, I know this sounds corny, but I think that we, as, people who absorb this kind of content, we want to see the characters grow. We want to see these characters go through it so they can grow through it. But the problem is, anytime there's any snippet of growth, Tyler Perry will get those weed trimmers and just cut it down so we can start back from square one. How many times are we going to see Fatima and Zach go through the same crap before we're just done? A lot of people have said, I haven't even watched a single episode of the show yet. I only watch your reviews. I saw the trailer. I was not interested. Even the hype for Sistas seasons. I told my mom this weekend, I'm not, and I told y'all this a while ago, I am not starting any online campaigns like hashtag season 6 now. I'm not making any okay, I might make memes, but not in the the spirit of bringing the show back. But I might make memes out of, just rumor has it Danny's still driving around Atlanta after roasting the girls, but it won't be like me saying, hey, bring back Sisters before Easter or something. No, I don't care when season 6 comes out. I honestly do not care, because I don't want it anytime soon, because I'm just sisted out. And when it comes to Zatima, I just hope that we rekindle the spirit of these two and what made them fall in love with each other in the first place. Because, the idea of meeting the parents, being, scared of that aspect of it. You'd think that Zach and Fatima will be on the same level of, okay, babe, this is going to be tough. My parents are, they're like tough cookies to crack, but regardless, I love you no matter what. And the episode synopsis for episode 10 is that everything that can go wrong does go wrong, and Zach's first impression is not a good one. So I really do feel like we're seeing the Paul stuff, Zach being emotional about his mom, lashing out at Fatima lashing back. It's just one of those things where it's gonna, I don't know. Okay, I'm done. I need to stop. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.